But we are going to start with the FA Cup, and today the Football Association have announced some major changes to the competition starting from next season. For more on this, you can see I've been joined by Gail Davis. And Gail, the headline is that replays will be scrapped from the first round from next season. Tell us more.
OK, well, we'll just wind back to why they're being scrapped, and that's because the Champions League and European competitions is growing, and that means there is less time in the schedule. And from the fifth round onwards, the last few years, we've seen replays scrapped. There's still going to be replays in the penultimate qualification rounds, but those traditional games in round 3, round 4 are going to be no more. And that's a huge blow to a lot of the EFL clubs. You imagine all of them are going to be scratching their heads and probably looking at their balance sheets, because you think about some of those epic third-round replays, fourth-round replays. They're a lifeline to many of those clubs. We just had a very quick look at the likes of Exeter going to Manchester United, and that's then kind of takes them back to Exeter in a replay. And that saved the club because of the way the gate receipts are shared out. You look at Yeading and Stevenage and those games against Newcastle in recent years, Cray Valley playing Charlton, all really kind of important games for the lifeline of these clubs, and all scrapped. There are various other changes which we'll go on to in a moment.
Yes, we will indeed. Let's get on to them now, because just run us through it. What are the other key changes that have been announced?
Right, well, all rounds are to be played on weekends. And what we mean is that recently we've seen fixtures played the Wednesdays, the Thursdays, the Fridays, the Saturdays and the Sundays. And this is kind of key. Fourth, fifth and quarterfinals, they won't be clashing with Premier League clubs. No replays, as we mentioned, from the first round proper, and no Premier League matches on the FA Cup weekends. Premier League will increase the funding for those grassroots clubs to around about £33 million a year. What it also means is that the winter break, although it wasn't official this year, the way that the fixtures were stacked means that a lot of clubs did get time to go away. You think back to Arsenal, they had a 10-day window. They went off to Dubai. They had that summer break. They came back rejuvenated, refreshed, and went on that amazing run. And there they still are in the title race, for example. But that won't happen. What they are going to do is have an extra week in the summer. But it does question, doesn't it? The players clearly need a break in the summer, but they probably need it more in January. So some of these Premier League clubs are going to look at this and think, OK, we haven't got the winter break. Where does the FA Cup maybe fit into their ambitions for the year? And it may force them to have a look at other things if they've got that schedule backed up with Champions League and big Premier League games. I mean, essentially, Mark Bellingham, the chief executive of the FA, has said that he wants to make sure that they use one of their biggest assets at the FA. They want it to have the showcase it deserves. That's their argument. We're still waiting to hear from the EFL on it.
Yeah, very interesting. It'll be really interesting to get their reaction as well. Gail, thank you very much for now.